You've entered into the phase of understanding what it means to be the spiritual image and the very likeness of God, which does not mean you look like God, because God is formless. It means that you have a faculty. You share a faculty with infinite mind, and that faculty is that you have the ability to think independent of circumstances, independent of the manifest world, independent of anything you've created. You can actually think independent of that and be a fresh starting point for the timeless, dimensionless life to course through you in such a way that life renews itself over and over and over again by means of you. You are the image and likeness of God, which means conditions and circumstances do not determine your destiny. Your destiny is determined by your attitude. Your attitude shapes your character, and your character determines your destiny. In other words, karma does not determine your destiny. Karma can only determine starting points. But your destiny is determined by your attitude, which shapes character, which shapes your destiny. Which means you are free right now to change the trajectory of your life by changing your attitude, flooding yourself with a dynamic of infinite potential, and allowing yourself to take off into realms of ever-expanding good. You are not a victim to time or place. You're not a victim of circumstance. You are here to represent the presence that is never an absence. Oh, just look to your neighbor and say, I got to listen to more of this. I think he's speaking to you, but I'm going to listen in. So just that preamble right there, if you were to take just that and meditate upon just what I just said, you can change your life for the better. We can stop right there and take an offering, right, and just forget about it. But we're not. Because we're coming into an understanding that today, being the last day of this month of Sundays, and we're finishing a theme. And the theme, of course, is your rules for engagement, acceptance, harvest, and forgiveness. And you've come to an understanding that your rule for engagement of being in this particular dimension of time and space is that you volunteered to be here. You chose to be here at this particular time of history being making right in front of us. You chose to be here at this time of human history, where the old paradigm is dissolving and a new paradigm is being born. You chose to be here during a time in which the light is so bright that the shadow is big. The brighter and bigger the light, the bigger the shadow. So you have chose to be here at a time in which the shadow is showing its face of separation and narcissism and ego tripping and pseudo power and greed and all of that that's rising up to be seen can no longer be hidden because the light is so bright. You chose to incarnate at this time in human history, where we're in the process of embracing the shadow to transmute it and transcend it so that we can move to the next stage of human evolution. You did not choose to be here to be an observer of history. You chose to be here to be a history maker. And just say that, I'm a history maker. And you are choosing to be here as a history maker by one, keeping your heart open, by two, being able to articulate a higher vision, and three, being the dispenser of your gifts. That's how you become a history maker. You keep your heart open during times of contraction, polarization, of wild opinions, points of view, I'm right, you're wrong. You're here to keep your heart open, articulate a transcendent vision of possibility for your life and the life of humanity, and then ask the universe to use you as a dispenser of divine gifts and talents and capacities, expanding in such a way that you're making history by becoming more and more and more of yourself. This is the time that you have incarnated. You've carnated during this particular time. And so we enter into the topic of the day, which is voice your choice. Now, you've heard me say over the years, for those who have been with me, that we are learning to see with the eye that is beyond the eye, and we're learning to hear with the ear that is beyond the ear. Now, there is the eye that's behind the eye, and there's the ear that's behind the ear. That means you can begin to see. That's what is behind your eye, your perception. You can have opinions about what you're seeing, points of view. You can hear with the ear that is behind the ear. That is, you can hear your own thoughts about reality and have an interactive relationship with them. And that means that you're basically having a conversation or a listening party with your own perceptions, and those perceptions may or may not be coherent with the fundamental harmony of the universe, but you have the capacity to absolutely see beyond the eye and to hear beyond the ear, and to live in a higher state of awareness that cleans the perceptual windows so that you're having an encounter with life. Are you picking up what I'm putting down right there? You getting it? Okay. So right now, just say, I am magnificent. Say, I'm great. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderful. Now I want you to say it again, but this time I don't want you to move your lips. I just want you to think it. So just think, I'm great. Think, I'm wonderful. Think, I am magnificent. Think, all of my needs are met. Think, I am radiant beauty. So in that moment, you thought it, you said it, and you heard it. You did not use your mouth, and you did not use your ears. You were able to hear it without ears, and you were able to say it without your body temple. Now that is what remains when the body temple dissolves. When the body temple is gone, you still have that faculty of thinking, you still have that faculty of speaking, you still have that faculty of hearing. You're not the body. You are that energy that's thinking that thought, and you are the energy that's hearing that. And you are now coming into a level of harmony, a level of congruence with voicing your choice on a regular basis, so that what you're saying and what you're listening to has something to do with truth and reality, something to do with a vision for a higher possibility for your life, so that ultimately, as you're saying, as you're voicing your choice, as you're saying it and hearing it, it begins to clean the perceptual windows so that you're able to absolutely have an encounter with life which is unadulterated by your previously held perceptions and points of view, so that you're able to walk in this world anchoring the realm of ever-expanding good on earth as it is in the mind of God. You have that much power. Within you, there are other voices as well. There's societal voices. There's parental voices, there's well-meaning friends' voices, there's hereditary voices, there's all manner of voices. There's subpersonality voices that emerge, personalities that have emerged as a reaction to circumstance. In other words, your personality, which personality comes from persona, which means mask. The mask that we wear emerged from time, emerged from a reaction to circumstance. They have their voices too. However, and it's a constellation of subpersonalities that sometimes proliferate our perception, and we begin to have a cacophony of all of these voices speaking, and we're listening. But when you say to yourself, magnificence is here, beauty is here, safety is here, security is here, all of my needs are met, are right here, and you listen to it on a regular basis and you feel it transcending, remember, the image and likeness of God, transcending the physical manifestation, the conditions that have come about. Remember, the conditions that you see are called the past. Anything you can see with your eyes is called the past. It was once a congealed thought form that manifested itself, and so people are navigating through the past, and they're allowing the past to develop their personality, and those sub-personalities are having voices obscuring the vision of what you could possibly see, and you're extricating yourself from the past by coming into a level of coherence with prayer and meditation and visioning and hearing the transcendent voice in your own awareness until you begin to feel what you are saying. Thus, the brighter your light, the bigger the shadow, which means all the things. This is a long sentence, but follow me. That means all of the stuff within you that has been created by the subpersonalities and have been sublimated and repressed and suppressed during a time in which you did not want to experience all of that rises up to be embraced, transmuted, and transcended by the voicing of your choice. All of my needs are met. Everything is working together for good. Life is for me. There is nothing against me.